Let's go over some of the basic navigation within the Stratascope Client Research Portal. We'll start with taking a look at some of the menu items that we have. What you'll notice is on the upper left corner of your screen, you're going to have what we call the navigation wheel. The navigation wheel is the fastest way to get to the things that you might be looking for. This is where you can get to your home page. You can go to our market research, you can search for companies, you can look at our industry research, and you can also take a look at the people that you've already tagged and been working with as well. Specifically, you can also get to your home page, which typically is your My Opportunities page, through one of the menu items on the sidebar here as well. If you need help, if you look at the upper right hand corner of the screen, we've got some more menu items up there, and that's where you can click on help, and that will go directly to our help center, which has got a lot of the different topics that we're going to discuss throughout this video, and you can look those up individually. This is where you can also get access to our training videos. You can call us, you can get to our support email. All of those things are available from here. If you are on your main screen and you would like to fire off an email to support, if you click on the support button in the upper right hand corner, that'll fire off that email for you. This is also where you can get to your preferences. Let's take a look at the preferences for a minute. This is where you can set up things like the business unit. It'll display the business unit that you're part of. If you're going to download and explore any of our Internet Explorer accelerators, you can do that here as well. As I scroll down, you also have some default search options, so that if you want to tailor the database from the 2.5 million companies that are out there down to the ones that really make sense for you, you may have authority over specific countries, states, or maybe you're a vertical rep that focuses on a specific industry. You can turn all of those on and then search for and define a subset of the database so that your searches come up quicker, your list is easier to navigate, and so forth. You can also segment the database by revenue. So if you typically only look at companies that are at least 10 million or greater in revenue, then you can turn that on, and you've just eliminated about 1.5 million companies in the database. So the searching will be much faster if you typically don't deal with companies that are less than 10 million. So that gives you some ideas on what we can do for you in the preferences area. What I'm going to do now is go back to where we were in terms of our basic navigation. So we've talked about the menus, we've talked about help and support. What I'd like to do now is talk a little bit about the panels. One of the things you'll find is that there's a lot of information to digest, but you may spend a lot of time on individual company research, in this case like Kohl's Corp. So when I don't need the navigation on the left, I can just click the little menu bar and off that side goes, and I get a spread out screen with my information just on Kohl's. We call that the side panel, so I can again move the side panel back and forth as I need it to be. And then we call each of the pieces within the Kohl's Corp detail an object. So when we look at the objects, each object can be open or closed as the user decides they need it. So if the target company details and the business issues are not something that you spend a lot of time with, you can shrink them down. You can also change the order of the different sections. So I can put the issues at the top or the target company details at the top. I can leave them open or closed depending on what my needs are. At the very bottom of the screen, you'll also see that you can set whatever layout you're currently using as your default layout, and then if you've made some changes that you don't like, you can also click on Use the Default Layout to go back to your last saved layout. Your default layout is what will be used for any new companies that come up. So really take a little bit of time and make sure that you set the detail screen up for a company the way you like it, so that the sections that you're going to use, the objects that you will spend the most time in, are up at the top. And that's going to make it easier for you to work with, and I think you'll get a lot more out of it in that regard. Just a note on filtering in general. All of the filtering will work the same way. You'll see a filtering section on the left hand side that has the ability to be docked or undocked, and you can do that by clicking on, in this case, search parameters, or the push pin at the top to lock it, or again to close it down. So you can see how that's easy to work to bring things in and out. You'll also see typically a sectioned off list of parameters with different drop down boxes and so forth that you can use to make your selections, and there may be more than one search button that you have access to as well. When you're done, you can click on results. In this case, it would give you a list of the results with the detailed information being off to the right hand side if in fact the filter is pinned. This same filtering mechanism is going to be used in multiple places in Stratascope, but that's how it'll work. There'll be a parameters and a results section. You'll be able to pin or unpin it to make the best use of what's available to you. The home screen is divided up into three sections. Your opportunities will be listed in the top section. As we scroll down, you'll see your organizational updates. The information with regards to any of the companies that you've been researching will provide you with a window into which companies have been updated recently. You'll also receive this in a once a week email, which you have the option of turning on or off for any of the individual companies, so that you get just the information that you're looking for. Finally, at the bottom, any of your market research extracts. If you've conducted a market research study and you've produced an extract, this is where you can go to retrieve the file so that you can download it and work with it on your own. So those are the three sections, the three objects in the middle of the page. If we go back up to the top, any important notices from Stratascope will be listed in the banner across the top in red. And over here on the left-hand panel is where you'll find the search function where you can search for companies or people. Looking just at the opportunities section, you can see that both the opportunity name and the industry are clickable. That means that if you click on the opportunity name, you will go directly into the details for that particular opportunity. If you click on the industry, in this case retail, you would go into the industry research for the retail industry. I have 93 opportunities currently in my opportunities list under this user ID, which is why I also have a search function so that I can search for a specific opportunity. I just click on the little binoculars there and I can make that happen. Otherwise, I can just browse through the list using the scroll bars at the bottom of the page. We see that one of my opportunities has a color code next to it, and that's where we can allow you to tag your opportunities. Your administrator can add additional tags if you need them. Now let's search for a company. So all we need to do to search for a company is come over to the search screen, type in the name of the company that we're looking for, click go, and we'll see what happens. The service will go out and search our entire database for companies with the name Walmart. And you'll notice that it found Wall Space Mart stores as well as Walmart Global Sourcing, which is a Chinese subsidiary. Walmart stores is probably the company that we're looking for. All searches will come up with the companies ranked largest to smallest in terms of revenues. So I'm looking at a public company with recent financials, 400 billion in sales. I'm pretty sure I've got the right Walmart. But if I'm not totally sure, I can click on Walmart and I can get the company ID card to come up. And that's where I get the address information, the website, the number of subsidiaries, the industry that they're in, the recent financial highlights with some details on the company, as well as a business description. If this is in fact the company that I'm looking for, I can click on detailed analysis and that'll bring me to the detailed analysis for that company. Later on we'll go over some hints and some tips for searching to make sure that you're successful in that regard. We've recently introduced two accelerators for Microsoft Internet Explorer. These accelerators allow you to research companies, but also to tag articles that you find on the internet back to the research that you're already working with. So let's say I wanted to research a specific company. I can see from this article that a company named Nestle is mentioned in the article. I right click on Nestle and I have a new accelerator that says let's research this in Stratascope. So I hover over the button and that gives me a flyout to the right hand side, and we see that there are 100 results found that match the name Nestle, with the largest being at the top. And I can scroll through the list of those, but maybe this one at the top is the one that I'm looking for. So I click on Nestle. It tells me that this is in fact the food and beverage manufacturer out of Switzerland. So this pretty much tells me I've got the right company. If I click on additional details, that'll bring me to the ID card and then the ability to create the research right from there. So very easy for you to be anywhere on the internet, see a company that you think you might want to find more information on, and build a whole research portfolio on the fly for that particular company. All right, let's look at the second place that we can use an accelerator, and that is anywhere on the page that we see that this is an article that we would like to tag, we can click on Tag the Site to Stratascope. And what will happen is we'll ask you a couple of questions. Number one, would you like to tag this to an opportunity, all the way to an industry, or to one of your capabilities? In any case, you click on the one that you'd like, and the Stratascope service will go and look up, in this case, our opportunities. I want to tag this article to Nestle. If I wanted to also tag it to craft, if I was researching craft, I could do that as well. In this case, we'll just tag it to Nestle. We'll hit select. We get the completed sign back from the software, and we can exit out. And that article is now tagged safely in my research.